All right, well, Peyton, I'll start off. Congrats on Canton, first of all.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Peyton, what does it mean to you to be here on a night when your old coach, your mentor, and your dear friend, David Cutcliffe, is going into the Greater Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it's very special. Didn't realize it was going to time up like that. I know Coach Cutcliffe's busy. I know he's coming in and getting right back tonight. They're in the middle of practice and getting ready to start the regular season. So it says a lot about him taking the time to come, and it just tells you about how he feels about Knoxville. And we're good. All right, here we go. To me, it says a lot about how Coach Cutcliffe feels about Knoxville, and I'm the same way. This is a special place, and obviously to be here raising money for the Boys and Girls Club, it's a special evening.
Peyton, it's certainly been a whirlwind month for you. Talk about what it's been like for you, of course, beginning with Canton and going into the Hall.
Yeah, it was a great experience down there, obviously to share it with my family, and then had a lot of old teammates, and Coach Fulmer, Coach Cutcliffe were there, and to see a bunch of old Broncos teammates, some Tennessee teammates, my high school teammates there. I think it's been a great time to reflect on all the people that have been a part of my football journey, and to kind of have them all there in one room was pretty special, and just makes you think about how thankful and grateful you are for all the relationships I've been able to make.
Are you having a hard time not keeping the gold jacket on?
Not really. Yeah, I don't. I think it'll kind of hang in the closet.
What's it like for you to come back to Knoxville now, fresh after your Pro Football Hall of Fame induction?
It is pretty cool to be back here. Thinking about kind of how it got started here, all the people that kind of were on this journey from the beginning back in 1994. Certainly, Coach Fulmer, Coach Cutcliffe, jump out, but. Behind the scenes, support staff, people that have just been selfless and helping me be the best player I could be, helping the teams. And so many good friends here, and Knoxville will always be a part of my life, and it's an honor to be back for this special evening.
What did it mean to you to have your coaches, Coach Cutcliffe and Fulmer, with you in Canton?
That was cool. The coaches have had a big impact on me, not, obviously Tony Dungy and my NFL coaches, but to have Coach Fulmer, Coach Cutcliffe, had a great conversation with my high school coach on the phone. He wasn't able to make it, but just any football player would tell you that there's been coaches that have had just a tremendous impact on him, and I'm no different. And it was pretty neat to have a bunch of them right there in the room together. And Bruce Arians, who's obviously coaching at Tampa, was my quarterbacks coach my rookie year. He took the time to come. So it just meant a lot that a lot of coaches made the sacrifice to come down there to help me celebrate.
Peyton, like the rest of Ball Nation, I imagine you're excited about football season getting ready to start. Have you had a chance to communicate with the new head coach, Josh Heupel?
Yeah, I have on several occasions. I was here earlier in the spring and got to visit with them and sat with their offensive staff, and just went over there to the facility today and spent probably an hour talking to Josh. And so, football season's here. I think we're all excited, and hopefully have a lot of people in the stands this year as opposed to last year. So Josh was excited. He said guys have been working hard and bought into his philosophies and his coaching, which is important. And looking forward to seeing them get started against Bowling Green next Thursday. Right? Yeah, to be here before you know it.
What are your impressions of Coach Heupel on the staff?
I like Coach Heupel. I've known Josh through the years. Certainly remember him as a player, and I've visited with him before when he was at University of Oklahoma. Sharp football mind. It's an exciting offense, I think, and so obviously we got a lot of new players and got some young players, and it'll be somewhat of an adjustment still, but I think it's going to be a fun offense to watch, and like I said, it's good to hear players are working hard. I like that. It's hot. It's really hot here, by the way, and to hear guys out there sacrificing and working hard is encouraging. And look, it's his first year, so everybody's got to be patient. But I'm on board and I'm pulling hard for him.
Peyton, what about the venture you and Eli are about to undertake here with Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what to call it. It's certainly not a broadcast, if you will. It's not. It's just a little different, I guess. It's kind of like Eli and I sort of hanging out watching football in the den, or maybe at a bar, if you will, and the viewer and the fan gets to kind of come with us. And we're probably not going to break down the 2nd-and-1 running play that is not that interesting. Might be talking some football, telling some stories, but when something interesting happens in the game, we kind of talk about that and kind of tell some behind the scenes, kind of intel. You have a little more time to do it than maybe a regular broadcast, and we get to do it from home. I get to be in Denver, and Eli gets to be in New York, and have some entertaining guests on each quarter that are going to kind of sit at the bar with us and watch the game. So, yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Hey, Peyton, this is going to be the 100th year of Neyland Stadium.
Yeah.
I wanted to get what's your favorite Neyland Stadium moment?
Probably just the first time I got to run out through the tee. I still think about that. I mean, the first time I saw the stadium was on my visit here. It was an ice storm here. It was covered, like you didn't even get to go down to the field or in the locker room. We went up in the press box and sort of had a quick glimpse of it, and that was it. But to have a chance to play 30-plus games there throughout my 4 years, and to run through that tee and kind of feel the pageantry and passion of the Vol Nation, it was an honor to play there. And what incredible history, going back to his great teams early on, and from Hank Laricella to Bobby Dodd, Reggie White, Johnny Majors. It's been a pretty incredible legacy of that stadium, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
Going back to the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction, when you were being introduced on stage, what was going through your head? What was that moment like for you?
Well, it was neat to be there with my dad. That meant a lot. He and I got to kind of share that together, and just sitting up there, kind of before it started, and kind of looking out and seeing a lot of the people that we recognize. So, yeah, that's really kind of what I've done this since I've kind of received the news, is sort of think back. When you're playing, you don't really think back. You're sort of looking kind of in the current, what's going on. But when you have a recognition like this, you do think back, and really, I just don't think much about a game or a play as much as I do kind of the people and the people that are a part of it. And that's really my greatest takeaway of all my years playing.
Peyton, so Tennessee brought a bunch of new quarterbacks in the offseason. Have you had any time to spend time with them, quarterback room at Tennessee? What's Tennessee giving those guys? I know that they were with the passing.
Yeah, we only have one, Tennessee quarterback, or only have one college quarterback per school that's allowed to come to the camp. So Harrison came this year. We've had, a quarterback every year since we've had the camp for 25 years. But I had a chance to visit with Milton today, and I thought Harrison threw the ball extremely well at our camp. He had a great attitude. Talking to Milton today, he was excited, about the offense, and looking forward to get going. So, I know there's been good, healthy competition during two-a-days and during camp. And look, you watch enough pro football or college football these days, you usually see more than one quarterback playing throughout the season. It's a physical game, and things are going to happen. So I think it's good to have that healthy competition and, have all those guys ready. And I know Coach Heupel is coaching them up hard. Yeah, I tell you, I think it's fun to watch, and certainly I could tell just by visiting with the quarterbacks that they like it. It keeps them engaged. There's no real kind of off or rest plays. I mean, it's active, and run plays could turn into a pass play with these RPOs today, and I think they'll be aggressive on offense, which they should be. With some new players and people not really knowing what to expect, let's go ahead and go for it, and go forward on some fourth downs, and try to get in the end zone. So I'm looking forward to watching them, and like I said, be cheering hard for sure.
Peyton, what is it going to take to beat starting quarterback at Tennessee? What are you kind of looking for there?
Yeah, like I said, that's Coach Heupel and their staff. They're going to evaluate and make those decisions. That's a lot of reps. I mean, they're watching, I'm sure, practice and how guys are responding in meetings, and it's not just probably the scrimmages or kind of the equivalent of preseason games. All of it, kind of matters. But I'm looking forward to seeing who ends up being the starter, and I hope he has a great year.
Were you able to talk to some of the players, and so did you give any advice?
I didn't get to see them today. They practice in the mornings now, I guess, because of the heat. And I love the players, through the years, and I hope everybody has as good a college experience as I had. I cherish my 4 years here, and look forward to watching kind of this new generation of players, and hope these seniors can go out with a positive year, and these freshmen can be here and help be a part of something special, a turnaround. And I think that's kind of the goal, to kind of build this foundation and kind of go from there.
And do you plan on, I know you have a pretty busy schedule now, especially with the Monday night football game, but do you plan on coming in to 10 games this year?
I do, yeah, I do. I coach my son's flag football team on Saturdays, and so I kind of like these night games here at Neyland. That kind of helps me get here a little easier than a 12 o'clock kickoff is tough to make. So definitely plan on getting to some, and excited for my teammate Al Wilson being inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. I know he's getting honored at a game this regular season, and it's on a group text with Leonard Little, Jamal Lewis, Peerless Price, Trey T. We're going to go see Al get honored in Las Vegas for the College Football Hall of Fame banquet's going to be this December. So real proud of him, and what a fun time to play here at Tennessee with so many great players like that. So yeah, I'll definitely be back for a couple games.
One more question for me. Oftentimes when people get inducted to the Hall of Fame, they find out in fun ways. Anything like that for you?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll repeat it.
If-
When people get inducted to the Hall of Fame, when they're first told about it, sometimes
Right.
they're told in fun, interesting ways. Was there anything like
Well,
that?
yeah, for me, I mean, it was kind of documented. I was out there in Denver, and had a bunch of coaches came out and shared the news with me. Cutcliffe and Coach Fulmer, as we mentioned earlier, but Tony Dungy and Gary Kubiak, Jim Caldwell, were all there in person. So, I think usually they kind of do that hotel knock on the door, and because of COVID, they sort of changed it up. And I kind of think going forward, that's a better way to do it. If you can go out to a person's home and kind of share the news with their family. Ashley kind of organized that, and I pulled the kids out of school to kind of watch that. So that was a neat moment to kind of find out in that fashion. Probably a little more special than maybe being in a hotel.
Your on-TV personality is something that people oftentimes come to and they're like, we love that. What kind of vibe are you hoping to bring to Monday Night Football?
Just being a fan. I know I played the game, but I don't want to be a critic. I want to be a fan of the game. I watch, football. I go to come to games here in Knoxville. Go to a couple Colts games. Go to all the Broncos games at home with my friends, with our kids. Watch coaches that I know. Not many players that I played with are still playing. But the ones that, like Von Miller and Brandon McManus, are the two Broncos still there, pull hard for those guys. So, yeah, just a fan of the game, a guy that really loves it, has a passion for it. And, and if something comes up that, a quarterback is doing that maybe I can kind of say, hey, this is what I think he's probably saying to his teammates right now. Not that I'm a lip reader, but I just, having been there before, you can kind of maybe take them behind the ropes a little bit and do it in a more casual setting. I mean, Eli and I are going to be in shorts and shirts and kind of like you would if you were hanging out in the den watching a game. So it's a little different way of doing it, and to do it with my brother, I think it'll be pretty special.
If I could ask you one more, I ran in here a little late, so I'm sorry if somebody asked you this, but what does it mean for you personally to be back in Knoxville?
Yeah, it means a great deal. Knoxville's a special place to me. Been a big part of my life, and even though I hadn't gone to school here since '97, it's been a part of my life since I left. People here have been great to me, extremely supportive. A lot of Tennessee folks here in Knoxville came up to Indianapolis for a lot of games and cheered hard for me, and so it means a lot to come back and to be a part of this evening on behalf of the greater Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame. Raising money for the Boys and Girls Club. It's a win-win. Okay. All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Good to see y'all.